This morning, an egg opened in a lab outside Austin, Texas. What came out of it weighs 3 kilos, is covered in down, and has been extinct for 66 million years. We're not going to argue about whether this is possible. In this video, it already happened. It's alive right now. Day 1. What happens next? Because here's what nobody tells you about bringing back a dinosaur. The hard part isn't the birth. There are 5 ways this goes. 4 of them end badly, 1 of them works. And the one that works is worse than the 4 that don't. Here they are. One has him crossing a highway at 3 in the morning. In another, the thing in the tank was never a tyrannosaur at all. In one, nothing in the atmosphere hurts him, and he dies anyway. In one, he never takes a single breath. And in the last one, everything works. That is the one that should frighten you. This is Lost Continent, and today we're looking at what actually happens the day after. Ending 1, it gets out. First ending, and it's the one you came here for. He grows up and he gets out. And there's precedent for what an escaped predator does. Burmese pythons, Everglades National Park. Raccoon sightings fell 99.3%. Opossum 99, bobcat 88, rabbits stopped being detected entirely. A whole mammal community collapsed, so scale that up to 5 tons and you get Jurassic Park. Except you don't, and this is the part that surprises people. Pythons work because they're small, cryptic, breed fast, and kept arriving. That's the invader profile. A tyrannosaur is the exact opposite. Sexual maturity at 15 years, natural density of 1 animal per 100 square kilometers. 28 years and then it is over. Across 45 release studies, only about 30% of captive-born carnivores survived. Over half the deaths were caused by people. He wouldn't hunt us, we'd hunt him, and it would take about a week. Ending 2, it's not a T-Rex. Second ending, it lives, and it isn't what they said it was. In April 2025, a company introduced 3 white wolves and called them dire wolves, extinct for 10,000 years. What they'd actually done was make 20 edits across 14 genes in a gray wolf. 5 of those edits just make the fur pale. 20 edits, 14 genes, 1 gray wolf. The IUCN has a word for this, and it isn't resurrection, it's proxy. Their position is blunt. No current method produces a faithful copy of any extinct species. Genetics, epigenetics, behavior, physiology, all of it drifts. So what's standing in that incubator isn't a tyrannosaur, it's a sculpture of one carved out of a living animal's genome. Ending 3, the air is fine. Third ending, and this is where your expectations break. You've heard the Cretaceous had far more oxygen, that he'd suffocate here. That's folklore. It comes from air bubbles trapped in amber, and amber leaks. The geochemical models don't agree with each other, and none of them describe air a dinosaur couldn't breathe. He has the same lungs birds have, air sacs, one-way flow. A bar-headed goose crosses the Himalayas above 5,000 meters. That is half the oxygen you're breathing. On half the oxygen pressure you're breathing right now, the air isn't the problem, it was never the problem. The problem is invisible, and it's already inside him. Birds pass antibodies to their young through the yolk. He got none, there was no mother. And even if there had been, they'd be useless. Antibodies are specific to what the mother met, nothing she met still exists. Chicks hatched away from adult hens don't inherit the gut flora that blocks salmonella. It's called competitive exclusion, and we've known since 1973. He isn't defenseless, he's naive to everything. Ending 4, it never breathes. The fourth ending is the boring one, and it's the one that almost certainly happens. To make Dolly the sheep, they fused 277 cells with 277 egg cells. It took 277 fusions, one living lamb. 29 survived to be embryos, 13 surrogates carried them, one lamb was born. That's a success rate of 0.36%. And that was a sheep cloned from a sheep carried by a sheep, everything matched. Now the only time anyone actually cloned an extinct animal, a Pyrenean ibex 2003. That took 285 embryos. 54 transferred, 12 surrogate mothers, one live birth. She died minutes later, part of one lung had collapsed and she'd grown an extra lobe that connected to nothing. The species went extinct twice in the same afternoon. So in most versions of today, you never see the animal, you see a press release and then silence. Ending 5, it works. 5th ending, he lives, he grows, he's healthy, everything went right, and this is the one that ruins everything. Because there's a number that ends this story no matter how well the science goes, and it isn't about biology. The effective population size is 1. A clone is genetically a population of 1. 10 identical clones are still 1. There's no second genome anywhere on Earth. The floor for short-term genetic viability is 50 or 100, depending which paper you trust. For long-term survival, 500 to 1,000. He is not the first of a species coming back. He's the last one, and he was born that way. And here's what actually catches fire, not him, the idea. Within days of that dire wolf announcement, the argument was already being made in Washington that the endangered list could be cut because extinction was now reversible. If we can bring them back, why protect them? A tyrannosaur lived about 28 years, so somewhere around 2054 that animal dies and the species ends for the second time. We didn't bring anything back, we built a very expensive way to lose it again. And the strangest part is that we're not far from this. Last year, a company started printing artificial eggs because for the bird they want to build, no living animal can lay one.